welcome to Maths Live. We've got Harry and Sam as always in Nottingham. We've got Hattie in Northampton, Hannah in Coventry. Hello. I'll do some more shout outs in a second. It's a jumper day today. It's gone cold, so I like having my jumper on. So just to recap, I know this came up in the Maths Live test on Tuesday, and it was what Roman numerals? Oh, I've forgotten all about them. So I thought I'd just give you a quick challenge to see if you can recap while I do some more shout outs, and then we'll get started with the last day of the big test. So we've got Reby in Stebbing, we've got Aoife, Amelia, Adam in Newcastle, Heidi in Broughton. Someone spotted it. Oh. Hi Thomas and Oliver. Hi Breed. Hi Emily and Buckshaw. Hi Ethan. Hi Matthew. Oh, well done anyway. Good. Hi Amber in Nottingham. Alright, I did wonder how long it would take someone to notice this, and I'll look who it was. Brilliant, because someone said, don't Roman numerals only really go up to a certain amount? Don't they only go up to 1,000, really? They do. Okay, so really I shouldn't have written 9,342, but think what you could do. Think, right, okay, how could I make it so it's different? Okay, can you? No, you can't change it. You can, Roman numerals only go up to M, which is 1,000. So who was that who spotted my little trick question? Let's have a look. Who was it? Heidi! Heidi, well spotted the trick question. So I'll change it so it's a little bit nicer. Well done. I'm just going to take the 2 off. Well done, Heidi, for remembering. So 934. Hi, Owner in Tunbridge Wells. Hi, Kian Norwich. Brilliant, already got some answers. Hi, Olivia Malden. I just thought, I'll put a normal one up, and I just thought, see if anyone notices. Just see, have a bit of fun. Okay, get rid of those. Right, because 9 and 4 are the numbers that are the trickiest. That's why I thought I'd add them in. So we've got 900, 30, and 4. That's the best way. If you're not sure about your Roman numerals, split them up. So we know that 4 is 1 less than 5. So that's IV. 30, 3 lots of 10. So that will be X. 900, remember when it's 9, it's got to be something less, and we're in the hundreds. So it's 100 less, 100 is C, and what is it 100 less than? 1,000. So it'll be CM, 100 less than 1,000. So in total it'll be CM X IV. That is your answer. I'd love to think how many. I mean, I saw some of you put C M, but yeah, it doesn't work. They didn't need big numbers in the Roman times because they didn't have big quantities of anything. You know, they didn't have hundreds of thousands of pounds. They didn't have hundreds of thousands of people, even people that lived in sort of settlements. They didn't have thousands of people, so they didn't need that amount of numbers. Right, last day, big test. It's really good that you've enjoyed it this week, and I've seen so many people sending in. Some people have got full marks, which is amazing. Some people have got half marks. Some people have said, oh, I've never done that question before, but I really enjoyed your explanation of it, so that's great. Okay, it doesn't matter what you get in the test. It's a fun test. It's not like a school kind of test. We're just seeing what we've learnt so far. And it's been brilliant because it's given me ideas for future Maths Live lessons. And I'm going to tell you about next week's lessons as soon as we finish this big test. But, on to the test. So, question one was round 84.38 to the nearest tenth. Round this number to the nearest tenth. So what we need to do is identify which is the tenth in this number. So we've got the tens, the ones. This is the tenth. The 3 is the tenth. So it's 84 point. Now we've got to round it, and it's the number to the right that tells us what to do. Now because it's an 8, that means it's higher than 5. So it tells the number here to round up. So your answer is 84.4. Well done if you got that. 84.4. You could have also been round it to 1 decimal place, but I wanted you to be able to identify the 10th place value. Okay, next question. Oh, we've got next 2 questions. So 38 times by 45. And then the question after was 728. I'm going to do that a bit higher actually. 728 divided by 13. So if you haven't already had a go at those, go for it now while I start. And that's a clue, okay? That's a clue about why we might need this space if you haven't already done it. Here we go. So 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. It looks scary, it's not. Just take your time. So we start with the 5. We start with the ones in the bottom corner. And we do 5 times 8. Okay, so 5 times 8 is 40. So we'll put our 0, and then we'll put a little 4 here, just to remind us, for the next column. And then we do 5 times 3, which is 15, and then we add our 4. So 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So you put the whole what up there. Okay, I'll just repeat that. 5 times 8 is 40, so we'll put our little 4. 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then you complete 19 across. Right, this is the trick to remember now, because now we're doing 4 times 8 and 4 times 3. But it's not 4, it is 40. 40 times 8 and 40 times, not 3, 30. So when you go on to the next column, the best thing to do is remember, automatically put 0. Okay? Because that is replacing your 40. So when you go on to the next column, automatically put your 0 there. And now you don't have to worry about it being 40. You can pretend it's 4. So 4 times 8 is 32. So our 2 goes here, and we remember our 3 just like we did above. And then we do 4 times 3, which is 12, 13, 14, 15. So 1 column there. I'm just going to line that up so it's nice and clear, so my place values are nice and clear. And then we add it together to get our total. So 0 plus 0 is 0, 9, 10, 11, 5, 6, 7, 1. So your answer should have been 1,710. Let me just see if we've got any answers. Brilliant, I just spotted a few there. Now, with the division, we're dividing a number by 2 digits. Okay, so that requires long division. We have to move down because it's very hard to put 2 digits when carrying across. Okay, if you struggle with this, I have done a couple of lessons previously on this, so it's worth going back on my YouTube channel and having a look if you're a little bit stuck. I'm hoping I can do another lesson on it soon. Right, this means How many lots of 13 are in 728? Okay, how many groups? So what we could do is subtract 13 forever, but it will take us forever. So the best thing to do is look at 13 and think, oh, right, how can I group 13? Can I change 13 to make it in some multiples of 13 to make me subtract a little bit quicker? Now, one obvious one is 130. If we times it by 10, 130, but that will still take us quite a long time. So I'm going to look at 13. I wonder what 2 lots of 13 is. Actually, no, what's 3 lots of 13? So 3 threes are 9, and 1 3 is 3. Oh, that's a little bit closer. So 13 times by 3 is 39. But if I add a 0, that means I've times it by 30. So I'm now subtracting 30 groups of 13. I've made 13 into 30 groups, which is 390, and I'm going to subtract that. So that is 8, 7, so that's 6, so 9, 10, 11, 12, I'm just adding up to make it quicker, and then 3. Now then, look how much smaller our numbers got already. Now I can't subtract another lot of 390, okay, because that number is too small. So let's do 13 times by 2. 2 3s are 6, 1 2 is 2. Right, I'm now going to subtract 20 lots of 30, okay, which is 260. So that's 8, 2, so 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, I'm left with 78. 78. Right, how far can I go? Let's see. Now, if that's 390, I'm going to just try a little bit bigger. How much is 13? So 1 5 5, 2 5 7, 3 5s are 15. 1 5 is 5. 6. Oh, 65. So that's 5 lots of 13. So that is 3. And that is 1. 13. So I just need one more lot of 13. And I've got to 0. Hopefully that, let me just check that's still on the board. Just. The aim is to get to 0. If you don't get to 0, check, unless you know there's going to be a remainder. Right, what is the answer? So now I add up all these groups that I've subtracted using 13 and I find my answer. So 30, 40, 50, 55, 56. So my answer there is 56. Don't worry if you think, oh, that's just gobbledygook to me. Especially those of you who are in lower Key Stage 2, like Year 3 and Year 4. That is something, at least you've seen it. You've seen it happen, and when you're taught it at school, you'll think, oh, I saw that in maths live. Right. Next question. What is, fractions now, what is 1/6 times by 5/7? Well, it's 1/6 times by 5/7, and it's one of these questions, you think, oh, fractions, you always have to do so much with fractions. Whereas actually, when you multiply fractions, you don't have to do a lot at all. All you've got to do is multiply the numerators, so 1 times 5 is 5, and then multiply the denominators, 6 7s are 42. You should try to simplify it where possible, but you cannot simplify 5 into 42, so that is our answer. Easy peasy. But what happens when you divide fractions, like we're seeing now? 6 times 9 divided by 1/5. Okay. What I always tell students, that when they're dividing fractions, you don't ever actually divide fractions. You don't do it. What you do is you change the fraction. We want to multiply it. So what we do is 6/9. So this is what happens. 6/9, this becomes a multiplication sign instead of a division sign. But because it's become a multiplication sign, it spins this fraction upside down, so it becomes 5/1. Okay? So we replace the division with the multiplication, but that in turn spins the second fraction. And now we can do the multiplication, because we know how to do the multiplication. So 6 5s are 30, and then 1 times 9 is 9. So the answer is 30 over 9, but some of you might have gone a bit further. You might have tried to simplify it, and it's going to be a mixed number. So how many groups of 9 are in 30? 1 9 is 9, 2 9s are 18, 3 9s are 27, 28, 29, 30. 3 9s are 27, and that will be equal 3 1/3. Let me see your answers. Hang on. Yeah, 6 5s are 30. I thought I made a mistake there. Let's have a look. 5 and 42, 30 over 9. 3 1/3. Brilliantly, brilliant, super. If you did get this answer, if you got that answer, give yourself a tick. But remember in future, you should try and simplify it where possible. So if you got this answer, or this answer, or this answer, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy with you. Because I know the division part, because you have to do a little bit more, can be a bit confusing. But I know you'll go away from this thinking, right, always got to try and simplify. Always try and simplify. Now then, angles. I'm going to draw as many of them I can on the board. So, here's angle X, and this angle here is 75 degrees. So what is the size of angle X? Here is a triangle with this, and then 40 degrees. And we need to know the size of angle C. So angle C equals how many degrees? If you haven't already had a go, have a go. If you have had a go, check your answer. Check, check, check. Brilliant. Oh, well done, guys. Hi, Kieran. Okay, answers coming in for the first one. Okay. This total angle here, this is a right angle, and the right angle is 90 degrees. Okay. So it's 75 plus something is 90. So what do we add 75 to make 90? We add 15, so x must be 15. Now with a triangle, the rule is that all angles inside a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Okay. Now we've got 40 here, we've got a right angle here. You know this is a right angle because it's not curved, it's a square. So what we need to do, and then we need to add 90 and 40, which is 130. And then we subtract our answer from there so yeah, 40 to 90. Sorry, no, I'm going a bit too fast here. So we got to, because you've got to find these two and then subtract it from the whole amount. So you do 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, and then we do 130, subtracted from 180, which is 0, 5, so it's 50 degrees. Sorry, I was going a little bit too quick then, I was even confusing myself. And then the next one, a little bit trickier, but I want to, there's different people taking part in this. There's some of you that are still in year 6 but you haven't gone back to school. There's some of you that are in year 3, so I want to do different levels of challenge. Now this one, the rule is still the same. We are asked what angle is, we are asked what is angle X. We do need to find sign. So x equals what? Okay. So a little bit different here. Here you can see that it is a triangle. Okay, so we need to remember that angles in the triangle add up to 180. But the problem is, in the triangle, we don't know the size of this angle and we don't know the size of this angle. And we need to find the size of this angle before we can find the size of that angle. Now, as well, can you see here that the angles are on a straight line? And angles on a straight line also add up to 180 degrees. So to find the size of this angle, we need to do 180 degrees, subtract 132. So 7, so that's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So this angle here is 48 degrees. And now we can add these together. So 48 plus 40 is 98. And then we subtract that from 180. So you could just count up 98, 99, 100. So that will be 82 degrees. I'll just check, is that right? Am I right? Am I right? You tell me, guys. Oh, am I wrong? Has Steph been a bit cheeky again? Am I right? So yeah, 48 and 40 is 98, isn't it? And then you subtract that and it's 82. Who's with me? Who's agreeing with me? Or who's disagreeing with me? Oh, well, some of you are putting a different size. Why? What mistake has Steph made? No one's arguing with me. Normally you do, and I like putting these in. 40 plus 48 isn't 98, it's 88. Okay, don't always agree thinking I've got it wrong. No, check. Okay, that's one of my favourite things to do as a teacher. You've already seen me do it right at the beginning with the Roman numerals. Say, no, I'm sure it's this. Okay, so if it's 88, to get it to, it must be 92. A lot of you put 92, but you were sort of like, oh, why, oh, what's wrong? Argue, say. I promise I won't do any more of those. It's probably going to confuse you. Right, we're doing super well. Super duper well. Just a couple of questions to go. So, question 9. 6a, bit of formula here. 6a plus 7 equals 25. What is a? So to do this, we need to do the inverse. So we do 25, take away 7. Okay, so 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. That means 6a must equal 18. How many 6's go into 18? 1 6, 6, 2 6, 12. 3 6's are 18. And then the next one, we've got y plus y plus y plus 5 equals 17. What is y? Okay, so again, we do the inverse. Start with the number that's nearest. So we're doing this. So you've added something to the y to make 17. So we need to subtract it. So y plus y plus y equals 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. 17. I'm doing 59. 17. That was a proper mistake. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Now, what of the same number do you add together 3 times to make 12? 4, 8, 12. So y equals 4. 4. Well done for spotting that. Oh, me needing a mode, very, very recent. So the shoe sizes of the children in the class are, I'm going to tell you that the mode is 4. So if you got the mode as 4, you got it right. Okay. Because I'm going to just put this, so you've got all those numbers. I am going to put them straight into order because writing them out quite a lot will take a long time. So I'm now going to put them in order of size. We have 3, 3.5, 3.5, 4, 4, 4, 4. Can you see why 4 was the mode now? The one that occurs the most. 5, 5, 5, and then 5.5. So 4 was the mode because it's the one that occurs the most. The median, remember, is the middle number. So first of all, I'm going to check how many numbers we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I've missed one out because I'm sure I've got 12. So I've got 3, 3.5, 3.5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there was another 4. That's what I missed out. That's why it's tricky. So 4, 4, 4. I think that's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. That's why you always double check. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to remember that for my mean. Okay? 12. So we need to find the middle number. It's an even numbers, which means there's going to be 2 numbers in the middle. So half of 12 is 6. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you'll see that there's 2 numbers in the middle, but they're both the same number, which means the median is still 4. Now then, the mean is all those numbers added together divided by the number of numbers. Okay? So when I added them all together, I'm now checking after making that mistake. When I added them all together and I divided by 4, I got 4.2. Rounded to 1 decimal place. So the answer is 4.2. And the last question. Temperature. Going into negative numbers. The temperature at midday in Belfast was 13 degrees. So at its hottest, it was 13 degrees. And that's positive 13 degrees, okay? At 3 a.m, the temperature had dropped to -4. Okay? And we need to know by how many degrees had the temperature dropped. So we're going from +13 to -4. Now, when you're going across into negative numbers, especially with temperature, I would look for 0, okay? And then think, how do I get from 13 to 0? Well, that's 13 degrees difference. You don't really put add or subtract, that's the difference. And then how do I get from 0 to 4? Well, it's 4 difference. So to get the total difference, I need to add these together, which is 17 degrees. The temperature on that day had changed by 17 degrees. Yes! You have done the Maths Live big test. Well done. Well done for persevering, especially for me when I actually make proper mistakes. Yeah, well done. Thank you for joining in. Well done. Thank you for sending your answers. It's been amazing. Next week, we are going to revisit an old topic, and it's the topic we did in the very, very first week of Maths Live. We're going to be looking at adding, subtracting, and then word problems linked to both. If you are on my YouTube channel, if you go back to the very first week, the quality of it is awful because I had my laptop doing the recording, which has got a really poor camera, and it was, I don't know if you remember, if you were here in those first few weeks, it was a tiny little whiteboard on the wall. So having this board will give me a lot more space. It's always good to go and practice adding and subtracting because you'll need it throughout your life, as you can see with me being a teacher. So I'll see you next week for that. If you haven't already had a go at my Maths Live poetry competition, have a look at my page. I've had some wonderful entries already. I know it's going to be one of those competitions that are always hard to judge. And if you are in year 6, I'm going to be putting a Key Stage 3 lesson up for you tomorrow to have a go at about circles. For the rest of you, have a lovely weekend and see you next week. Bye bye.